Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wrestling Rundown. Today, we are going to be doing a special episode. I do want to bring up this point that if you have been keeping up with the YouTube channel, I said the yesterday night I posted and I said I was going to make a special announcement to be discussed with him on air. Um, you don't know about this yet.
Yeah, obviously not.
I don't want to catch you off guard, but like I said, I also updated the YouTube page and I put under the info that after a pay-per-view, the week of the episodes, they're gonna be special longer episodes due to the fact that there's so much to talk about this week regarding SummerSlam and everything else that happened. So that I want to clear up. But as I said, welcome to the show where we discuss the future and everything going on in WWE. Now, the special announcement. I want to know your I want to have your opinion on doing a live show. Streaming straight out to the YouTube.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind it.
Okay. I have scheduled the date for this.
Okay.
We're either gonna do it this Monday,
Okay.
this Tuesday, or next Tuesday, depending on what works better. I think this Tuesday would be better because I am starting, school next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. All right.
So there you have it, folks. These are kind of the things that I want to bring up on the recordings with you, and talk straight to you and him. Things work out sometimes.
Mhm.
But anyway, there you have it, folks. On Monday on Tuesday. I keep getting these dates mixed up. On Tuesday we will be doing a live stream of an episode. So keep checking for that. Now, the first thing we want to discuss is we want to kind of bring you back to Monday. Well, I'm going to bring you back to Monday night here. On Monday, Brock Lesnar said he was leaving the WWE Universe. Well, and he pretty much said he has nothing left to conquer. But I'm going to turn it over to Gary Wood, where he will provide you with some information with this.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Computer, so.
just. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. As he said, Brock Lesnar had left us out on Monday, saying that he's conquered everything there was to conquer, and that he was leaving the WWE forever. We told you last episode that wasn't true, and that he would most likely reappear at Survivor Series. He's to take on The Undertaker.
There are some big updates on this one, so.
Yes. According to one of our insights for information, that WWE is considering that Ryback may actually be a worthy opponent for Brock Lesnar.
I want to stop you there.
Okay.
Ryback and Brock Lesnar, formerly Skip Sheffield, Ryback is, but the dude is strong and he can hold his own. So that match would be an interesting match, unless Brock Lesnar keeps going like a broken record and just keeps trying to put in the Kimura.
Yes, but keep in mind, Ryback's arms are considerably thicker than
Triple H's, yes.
Triple H or HBK's, so the Kimura is probably going to be all but useless against this guy. So he may actually have to change it up a bit, which would be very interesting to see. However, Ryback is a newer wrestler, and yes, I know he's had history with the WWE. He's been here. He's been there with numerous personas before. But the bottom line is, the Ryback persona is still a new wrestler. Why would they want to have have it be a do or die time for such a promising new character.
I'm gonna bring up something right back a little later in the show. But anyway, interesting point. I want to actually, it's not even a point. Question of the day: which move is gonna do the most damage? Undertaker's Hell's Gate or Brock Lesnar's Kimura? There's your question. Answer it below.
Alright, anyway, according to the site, it states that Ryback is currently on a 25-match winning streak, and when it comes to WWE TV and pay-per-view matches in 2012. And apparently the only one who's had a winning streak that close is Sheamus with a 14 win streak, but besides that, no one's even remotely close to touching Ryback's current win streak. So that's reason for their considering having him go up against Brock Lesnar.
Whenever there's a newer superstar in the ring, I'm not saying Sheamus is new, I'm just saying. Whenever there's like Ryback, they're not going to go and put him on a losing streak right away. They're going to put him on a winning streak for as long as they can until a storyline thickens up, and then they'll stop. Like they did, if you remember, with
Tensai?
Him and Vladimir Kozlov when he first started. They put him on a massive winning streak. But anyway, back to him.
Yeah, that seems to be about it. So yeah. That's pretty much it from the site, so.
Okay, well, moving on. We're gonna fast forward again. We're gonna fast forward to this past Thursday. This past Thursday, actually. I want to discuss Superstars for a minute. I did recently take the liberty on Thursday night of watching Superstars when WWE uploaded it to their site. Or not to their site, their YouTube page. Most of it is talk. On the announced team, which I have not seen before, was Matt Stryker and Scott Sanford, if you know who that is. Gray hair, kind of a roundish face. I'm not good with descriptions on the best days, but oh well. There was about 3 matches, I believe.
Yeah, that's how Superstars roll. It's usually just the 3 matches.
Yeah, but in one of the matches, it was Damien Sandow versus Yoshitatsu.
Oh boy.
Of course, Tatsu got dominated by Sandow, and Sandow came out with the win. And that was about it for that match. I'm just tired of Sandow thinking he's all that, but he's really not.
I'm waiting for one of, either Brodus or Zack Ryder to take him down, because he's had issues with both of those men. Actually, now that I think about it, he's had issues with a lot of men, so there could be quite a good number of rivalries being set up for Sandow. Should be interesting, or at the very least, we could at least get to see him get beaten the heck out of, win or lose. So,
Okay, then we saw it was Sin Cara versus, I don't remember, but
he didn't write notes for this.
I did. I was just kind of checking it through, but I do remember the last match. It was Cody Rhodes versus what's his name, Justin Gabriel. That was an excellent last match on that show. I did actually give them both credit. They did do a great job. But in the end, Cody Rhodes did win. Now, I don't see why Cody Rhodes has a damn obsession with freaking, what's his name, Sin Cara's mask. It's a mask. Rey Mysterio's been masked for like 50 years since he's been in WWE,
Yeah,
and only one person has tried to take off that mask, being Eddie Guerrero, before he,
Yeah. I think the thing is, everybody loves the fact that he's got an air of mystery to him, and Cody can't stand the fact that there's someone out there with a mask that actually is doing a lot better than he ever did with a mask.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Because Mysterio or Sin Cara, they don't use that mask for, evil per se. Like Cody Rhodes used his. But anyway,
Kind of impossible. Well, to use fabric to.
That's what I'm
brush
saying.
Somebody's face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, getting back on topic. WWE Friday Night SmackDown. The stuff that you guys came on to listen to. Anyway.
Ryback versus Jinder Mahal was our first match. Now, I put this as a topic here. I have to give credit where credit is due. This was a good match by Jinder Mahal. Usually I don't, like I said in one of the previous episodes of a different superstar, I usually don't praise him, but he put up an excellent fight. But in the end, it was Ryback who would come out dominant. I'm sorry if I'm stealing your thunder.
But you gotta keep in mind, though, people, this is Ryback we're talking about, and he's definitely one to live out a grudge. And he was gunning for Mahal the entire time. He also, if you were also paying close attention, he actually changed up his clothesline habits. He no longer does the winding of the arm.
He just goes right for it. It's kind of like JBL's clothesline from hell, if you remember that, since you've just recently gotten into wrestling.
Yeah.
But anyway, Teddy was on commentary on this one.
Yeah, because Josh Matthews was still recovering from the Kane attack.
You're going to notice throughout the night that throughout every match, there was somebody on commentary. I do want to bring this up. Why nobody else was on commentary? I mean, they could have had Josh Matthews, or not Josh Matthews, Matt Stryker sit next to Michael Cole on the announce table, and then had Scott Sanford doing the backstage interviews, or vice versa. But that's another note for another time. And, of course, I said Ryback wins the match. Clean victory.
Yeah, he used his signature, which we still really don't have a name for, which is actually bothering me quite a bit, because I would like to know the name of that move.
Speaking of Ryback, have you ever figured out what his new music video, or, well, not music video, his new theme song?
No, there's still not an official thing up on YouTube yet. There's a lot of people's, unfortunately, very crappy edits of what they could get off of the show, mixed with the old theme song Meat. And it sounds so horribly
disastrous.
Yeah, it makes me think, how could they not be ashamed for putting that up on YouTube?
I'm gonna keep giving you updates on that as they come out, if we ever find something on it. But I do beg the question, is Ryback's momentum on the decline? According to our source, just 1 week ago, Ryback debuted a new, well, not debuted, debuted a new theme song, which, of course, we do not know if the name of the theme. Squash JTG and had the crowd going crazy. And then he was back to squashing local jobbers. Again, as I brought up on the last episode. And, of course, that was taking a step back. Now, Ryback is obviously, as you can see, limited to what he can do. and he's a monster who isn't going to be given much mic time because he doesn't really talk, besides him doing the feed me more. Or the finish it, or the done he does at every match, you know what I'm saying? But he's a physical specimen who's entertaining to watch. And I love the guy. I mean, when he was with Nexus, if you remember, not you, but if you viewers remember. Yeah, so. However, sooner or later, he may very well fade into oblivion, so. But he's been involved with something in a feud, resembling a feud with Jinder Mahal. I would love to see this feud continue because he has a lot more potential than WWE is giving him right now. But nothing's coming of it yet, besides the match.
Not to mention that the fans absolutely love him because whenever he comes out, the chant is always heard very strongly throughout the arena. So,
but with WWE, rather than they're just moving forward with the feud, of course, the writers are prolonging it and making nothing out of it. And the notion of Ryback beating two wrestlers at once was interesting at first, but now it's just getting a little overused.
It would be more impressive if he was beating not just jobbers 2-on-1, but actual WWE superstars with his finisher, or 2-on-1. I mean, personally, I would love to see him, like, for example, take down Sandow and like one of the primetime players or whatever, or using that finisher, taking like.
You know, now that you say primetime players, that would be something interesting because he's not fighting two jobbers. He's fighting a somewhat.
Yeah, he's fighting in guys who have already tried for championship gold, and they just it's not exactly him fighting two new rookies, but him fighting some better seasoned competitors, especially better than Jinder Mahal, considering he has like no title shots. He is hardly any airtime whatsoever. So if he starts facing people with more and more airtime, that's when his momentum will start to rise again.
But of course, that's not going to happen if WWE Creative is not going to go through with it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to this notion of Ryback. A wrestler can't be taken seriously if he doesn't engage in actual feuds. Wow. So they really need to do something with him. And it seems as if the WWE really likes Ryback and they want to push him. Give him a big boost and hyping him up and everything, kinda. But if they're gonna continue to put things off, the fans are gonna stop caring. Nobody's gonna keep cheering for him. I mean, obviously I would, but that's just me. So he needs to do something soon. And there are plenty of guys. I mean, here's an interesting match: Ryback versus Tensai.
I would like to see that.
They could do some fireworks in the ring. They could really do something, but of course WWE isn't.
And this may be an opponent who may actually be able to get Tensai out cold instead of the simple, like the quick pins that he's been going through lately. Then we wouldn't have to see him having a little bit of a hissy fit and
going after Sakamoto.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little something on Tensai a little later in the show as well. But for now, there are plenty of guys in the company that, with any discernible angles, so it shouldn't be tough to find somebody to face Ryback. But the writers are just waiting for something great to come along. But they have to make it happen sooner. Ryback will be the latest in a long line of failed big men. So, that's it on Ryback for now.
All right.
And we're gonna move on
with the show. The next match was a Divas match.
Gary can cover this. I'll be back.
This was not a title bout, but instead it was just a match, kind of meant for filler, but it had good storyline purpose. It was Layla was up against Alicia Fox. Layla, as always, she's a very strong competitor inside the ring, and she was putting up a good fight with Alicia. However, Alicia would take into account of Layla's knee injury, her history with the leg injuries, and she would actually go for a single leg Boston Crab on her bad leg with the knee brace, which surprisingly she still wears. I have no idea why, because it's been about a few months since she's returned, and she had that when she first came back, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. So yeah, after her pretty fair fight, Layla comes out on top. He wins through pinfall, and Caitlyn, who was the ringside commentator with Michael Cole during that match, came up into the ring, congratulated Layla, and they shook hands. Then, and we hear Eve's music go off, and she enters the ring in her formal attire for her position as
assistant director.
Yeah, assistant to the GM. And she doesn't say a thing. She just looks between the two women and takes up their arms and raises them up in the air, and she's just smiling and she's remaining quiet. So, this could mean a number of things, and I personally think that Eve is more or less playing in mind games like she usually does.
I did ask somebody for an opinion on this, and this person who shall remain nameless on the show for now, verbatim, she says to me, "What kind of shit is Eve pulling?" Well, Gary might answer that now, if he can.
Like I said, the best I can come up with is she might be trying to pull mind games, or she may be seriously pulling a face turn, but I highly doubt that would be the case. She's been given power once again, but we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Speaking of heel and face turns, like I said on the last episode, it's highly unusual for two faces to have a match. In this case, Layla and Caitlyn, because they're both big faces right now. But Layla can easily pull off a heel turn. Like when she was with Lay Cool. She can easily pull it off, but well, like Gary said with Eve, we'll have to wait and see.
Alright. And that's it for that match.
Moving on. Sin Cara versus Heath Slater. Very, interesting match, I guess. Interesting being used loosely. Sin Cara, exciting, high-flying as always. Who else but Cody Rhodes on commentary for the night? For the match, I should say, for the night. Wow. Slater, but as always, has a very weak offense. Like he's been having deals with legends and stuff like that.
Ever since the whole build up to Raw 1000, he's been on a tremendous losing streak, and the latest loss was to Randy Orton, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't believe you are mistaken, my friend, but of course there are some things that we say that may be wrong. Please correct us. Of course, this match doesn't it doesn't end in a clean victory. It ends with Rhodes interfering and then
behind
turning his mask.
behind the ref's back. So the ref did not see anything, which did not result.
But
in
with Cody Rhodes, he
disqualification.
slides into the ring, and he takes Sin Cara's mask, and he turns it around to where Sin Cara can't see anything out of it. So, and Slater picks up a fluke victory.
And then after the match was over, Cody came in and started beating on Sin Cara once again, trying to take off the mask.
He almost succeeds.
Only to be stopped by the referees.
Officials, yeah.
So, and you hear him say, "Hey, it's a matter of time." So, So obviously, he is far from over with the whole obsession with Sin Cara's mask, and we're gonna see more stuff being pulled sooner or later.
Now on commentary, Michael Cole says to him, "What is your obsession with taking off Sin Cara's mask?" And basically, Cody says it's not an obsession. It's because he's ugly or something like whatever it was.
He's more or less in denial about it being an obsession, which it clearly is. So.
Next, moving on, big match. Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. Not for the title.
No, because what happened was backstage, Ziggler was
Bitching.
Yeah, kind of. He and Vicky were going, "Oh yeah, we got rid of
Chris Jericho.
We got rid of Jericho. I still have money in the bank. I can cash this in whenever. He'll be the world heavyweight champ." And then comes Sheamus, and he goes, "Why not just cash it in tonight? I haven't had a fight in a long while now, and I want a fight badly." So, they get into a small argument, and Tay Long comes in and he goes, "All right, hold up. How about this? I'll talk to Booker T and get a match between you two. Oh, not a title shot, but just a regular match tonight." And Dolph,
Play it.
Dolph grudgingly he agrees with it, and Sheamus is, of course, all for it.
Sheamus is a fighter. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
But anyway, we got the match comes up. Sorry. And we have Vicky on commentary. I did not want to hear her voice.
Yeah, it's bad enough to hear her screeching and her introduction.
She sounds like a dying pterodactyl.
Yeah. Anyway. So Ziggler had good offense, and he's definitely becoming a bit of a bigger name now, so he's definitely putting up a better and better fight with
That was the
each
push
match.
that came through with him beating Jericho. But Jericho will be back, we all know, as we report.
And Sheamus sets up for his finisher, but Ziggler just ducks out of the way. And Vicky actually comes up and gives Dolph his Money in the Bank briefcase, which he then proceeds to use as a weapon and hits Sheamus on the shoulder, I believe, twice with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Sheamus won by disqualification, and Dolph tried to cash in his Money in the Bank right then and there.
At this point, we see Dolph. I'm sorry for interrupting you. At this point, we see Dolph and why do I keep saying Sin Cara all night?
I don't
know. And Mike Chioda, the referee, they're kind of arguing it out. Like, are you sure you want to cash this? Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that was just a way for Sheamus to get back up, so we couldn't cash it in.
Yes,
and
because
as fate would have it, Sheamus did get back up.
Yes, Sheamus was coming too. Dolph realized this, and at the last moment took away his briefcase and ran out of the ring. and completely ending the a little scene. And then it went to the commercial. When commercial came back, we see Santino coming onto the ring, and he's not wearing ring attire.
But
you can cover this.
And he knows why. Santino interviews the Cobra. He starts off by saying, like, you made us lose the match at SummerSlam because you were too focused on telling the Cobra this. He's like, you were too focused on Oksana, but hey, let's call a fish a fish. So, whatever it was. And then he starts
quoting an Italian American.
He goes, I want to quote the famous Italian actor, Robert De Niro. And he says something about nipples that I'm not quite sure.
I've got nipples, can you milk them?
Yes, I've got nipples, can you milk them? Classic Santino.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes on to say, I know this one by heart. He quotes Rocky. He goes, I want to quote another famous Italian actor, Rocky Balboa. If you can change, I can change. You know where I'm going with this, people. We all can change. And then, of course, Cesaro's music hits.
Yeah, which he actually has a new theme now. Oh, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but
decent.
No, I've never in my life have I heard a theme song that just instantly got on my nerves before now. Cesaro's theme song does that now. Oh, congratulations.
So you hate it?
No, I don't hate it. It's just as soon as the music starts, and I hear it, it's just, I get this weird, like, I get irritated right off the bat. It's just like, yeah.
It's okay. Oh, okay, anyway. Well, anyway. They start doing that freaking...
The 5 languages.
The word obviously was winner.
Yes.
Which was stupid, but...
Oh, please, you'd say it's stupid unless if it was freaking Charlie Sheen saying winner.
You bet your ass I would, because Charlie Sheen is a shit. But anyway, I'm not done here. Like I said, Cesaro comes out, yada yada, and he said something. It's Santino, he said the winner stuff in all 5 different languages. And Santino amazingly said something that I never thought I'd hear him say in that tone. He goes, "Oh no, you didn't." So he power walks straight up to Cesaro. Cesaro tries to kick him, and he pretty much takes down Cesaro.
He catches the kick, and he starts setting up for the Cobra, doing the usual straight punches, and then instead of him doing the shoulder throw, since they weren't in the ring, they can't really do that.
The Cobra
came out, but it zeroed in on Oksana, giving Cesaro enough time to beat down Santino and return backstage. So
more of this feud to come, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know Cesaro wouldn't win without the help of Santino.
Mm-hmm.
Cesaro. Anyway, moving on. Thank you.
Anyway, next match was a tag team match. Not for the titles, but just a regular tag team match between Kofi and R-Truth versus Primo and Epico. With Rosa Mendez, of course. The primetime players were on commentary, and pretty much it was another clean victory for Kofi and Truth. They dominated in the match, and they turned out on top with Truth getting the pinfall on, I believe it was Epico.
I'm sorry. Michael Cole in this little bit Oh my god.
Yeah,
it was the funniest thing I've ever seen from him. Usually I don't praise him.
He was trying to act like a fangirl, and he was failing miserably.
They're pretty much sitting there going, him and the primetime players go, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. I frankly think we can do it better, but...
Yes, but I'm quite tired of that, so...
I know. But anyway... Michael Cole goes, can I try the cube arc? And Titus goes, yeah, go for it. So he goes, ruff, 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 ruff. and Titus goes, what the hell was that? He goes, it was a puppy. I never laughed so hard. That had to be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it was the other one from the primetime player saying it sounded like a puppy. Yeah. Anyway, so okay. Now, it then goes backstage to Booker and T talking with Teddy about
the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, not her. No, the tag team championship.
Really?
Because after the tag team match, there was a backstage bit where Kofi and Truth were stopped by the primetime players, and they were taunting them, saying, oh, we're gonna get those championship belts off you. You guys aren't the real champions anymore. Yada yada yada. Then we see Primo and Epico jumping in. We see the Usos jumping in, and they're pretty much going, hey, it's our turn to get at the title now. Oh, and then Primo and Epico, and then Justin Gabriel, and I forget the name of his partner.
Wow. What do you look like?
No hair.
No hair.
Beefy.
Oh. This is gonna piss me off.
Yeah, right. Anyway. Yeah, we'll work on that. Anyway, so yeah, and then it becomes a giant brawl, because, well, tempers were flared. Anyway, so then it goes to backstage with Booker and Teddy, and Booker's pretty much going, Teddy, I need your help. I need you to tell me which tag team do you think should go and have an opportunity to go and take on the champions. No. And Teddy's pretty slow about it. He's going, well, I don't really know. I can't, and I don't quite know right now. And then Eve comes in with a bunch of paperwork, and she's going, here I've got a win-loss record of all the teams.
Tyson Kidd.
Okay, there we go. All the teams for the past 6 months, and I also have your schedule here, and Booker T seems impressed, and
this is where I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I brought up the point where Eve is actually doing work. I mean, aside from inside the ring, like, wow. But anyway, you can continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so Booker T leaves impressed after she says that she was gonna go and work on the next week's schedule, and she turns around and she goes, "Oh, Teddy,
yeah,
I didn't see you there." And she kind of smiles and she just walks off.
Teddy is freaking death eyeing her, just death staring.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
yeah.
I guess we're gonna move on.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring something up a little later in the show, so we're gonna skip this one real quick.
Okay.
Now, number 9 on the list: Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio. Before this matchup started, I just want to keep saying this: go away, Del Rio. Nobody friggin' likes you. You are not relevant anymore, and you suck. All you do is get help from Ricardo, who helps you cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I say this: Nobody wants to see another champion match with you against Sheamus. It's old, it's dull, it's boring, you suck. Go to hell. Emphasis on the go. I think,
Alright then. Anyway,
I think I
the
shared my...
The match was to decide the next #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. Oh, and Sheamus was on commentary. He started up with the match. Orton's pretty much dominating the match, and it seems to be that Orton's going to win. But towards the end of the match, things start to change, and he does not succeed to get the RKO on Del Rio, but instead Del Rio gets a cross arm breaker, and Orton taps out. So that means that Del Rio is once again the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title.
Okay, like I said, no one wants to see this match again. It's old. It's getting overdone. I don't know what creative is doing, what they want from you. Go away.
Then, after the match is done, and Alberto Del Rio takes one of Ricardo's shoes and throws it at Sheamus, which then, of course, Sheamus cannot just let that go. He immediately gets into the ring and tries to, and he pretty much attacks Alberto Del Rio. But, and unfortunately, Ricardo jumps in, number games, and...
If I say something real quick. Prior to Del Rio throwing the shoe, he wins the match, like we said, and we see Ricardo get in the ring, and he's jumping all around, jumping over by Del Rio. Well, Del Rio turns around, pushes him down. Ricardo, I think he was a little taken back by this, because and I was too. I'm like, wait a minute, he won the match, so why is he pushing down Ricardo?
Lately, he's been treating Ricardo like crap anyway, so...
Just like Tensai.
Yeah, anyway, so then, and as I was saying, number games gets into effect here, and Del Rio manages to take Ricardo's other shoe and hit Sheamus in the side of the head with it, and pretty much knocking him out. Then we hear Ziggler's music, Dolph Ziggler's music coming on, and he's rushing into the ring. He's got the briefcase in hand. He's about to cash it in when Randy Orton comes
as we
to.
all know, he's brought this up before in an episode. We cannot finish the night without seeing an RKO.
Mm-hmm. Randy Orton sees this, and he's not having it. He just RKOs Dolph Ziggler on the spot, completely knocking him out cold. Well, and then that's how the match. And then that's how
the night
ended
ends.
that night. Mm-hmm.
But moving on, we're gonna discuss, as I like to call, a new little mini-series within the series. As we're gonna do after we finish, after the show, after the main points. Hot topics, these are called. The Perfect Storm repeats. Every freaking 45 minutes, they are showing, every 30 minutes, they are showing a repeat of the Perfect Storm, Lesnar, Triple H.
That would be a downfall of the 3-hour length. Personally, I think they could use that time to give airtime to the superstars that really don't get a lot of it anymore. Meaning Zack Ryder, Justin Gabriel, those guys.
Definitely.
Yes, they can get in good airtime, and then they can just get back into storylines, and it would make pay-per-views a bit more interesting. Instead of just having random filler matches, we'll actually see matches with a bit of storyline in them, and
hell, you don't even have to make a rivalry out of it. Just superstars that don't get airtime, like he said.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that Raw is only sticking to 5 freaking main people in the roster. But anyway, we're gonna move on from here. Like I said, the Perfect Storm repeats. It's done. It's over with. Move on. As I brought up a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's over. Stop showing it. Oh, another thing with the Perfect Storm. Triple H is expected to be live on Raw this Monday at 8/7 Central.
That should be a good thing to see then.
I'm not believing we're going to see Brock Lesnar appear because he's done. But whatever. I kind of want to retract my statement that I made last week. Well, on Tuesday when we recorded the previous episode. I said, no, CM Punk is not officially heel. He said he was. That's exactly what he said. I want to retract that statement. I apologize. CM Punk is now officially heel. And Gary's going to give you some further insight into that. So, take it away, Gary.
Alright. Okay. All you CM Punk fans are going to want to cover your ears for this one. Yeah, there's just no debating it. Punk is now a heel. Monday night, and we're taking you back to Monday night, end of the show. He demands an apology from Jerry because he says that he more or less lied to the WWE Universe about the comment of him turning his back on the WWE Universe. And Jerry goes, this is all a misunderstanding, but if that's what you want, fine. I apologize. And then Punk once again stops him and demands that he says that and Punk is the best in the world. Jerry says, I cannot do that. And
I always had an honest, respectful rapport with the WWE and the universe.
And I just cannot do that. And now let me get back to my job. He more or less shoulder bumps Punk as he is getting to the ropes, and Punk waits until his back is fully turned and then kicks him in the back of the head. No one attacks Jerry Lawler.
Especially with Jerry being one of the most well-respected personas in the WWE right now.
Yes. Anyway.
For a long time, but...
Yes, no one attacks Jerry and says that they're still face. No, it's not happening. You're heel. End of story. And pretty much, you have to admit, Punk's new attitude is, ever since the 1000th episode, it's definitely more heel than it is face. He's demanding respect, saying that he's been taking a back seat, out of respect, and all this other crap. Happened just general bitching and complaining.
Like Cena said on Monday, you don't come out here and demand anything from the WWE Universe.
You get it. You come out here, you earn it every single night. And as Cena said, and no one is here to stroke Punk's little ego. So it's really becoming quite tiresome to have to listen to Punk bitch and complain in saying that and he doesn't get the respect that he deserves, yada yada yada. Frankly, by the time he loses his championship, I hope that his attitude will change back to the way it was before, because I am quite honestly sick and tired of this new Punk. So, yeah.
Interesting point you bring up there, saying that like after he loses his championship. I don't feel he's gonna kind of change his attitude up until after WrestleMania this year, just because he's got that storyline with The Rock and the storyline with Cena. But anyway, like we were saying, a lot more stuff is going on. Breaking news in the WWE. As you found out on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Tyler Rex put on his Twitter page that he asked for and he was granted his release from the WWE. The following I'm going to read to you. It's in verbatim from his blog. I just want to say thank you to the WWE Inc.
Incorporated.
Yeah, Incorporated, but I'm just shortening it. For allowing me to be part of an incredible entertainment experience. On Monday, I asked for my release and the company was gracious enough to grant my request. I also want to thank my boys. You know who you are. Especially, though, a huge thank you to Hawkins. You were like a brother to me the last year, and I'll miss you and will always love you, bro. I wish you the best, and thanks for understanding that I had to go be a dad. When she's older and able to realize what happened, I know Maya, however you want to say it, will thank you as well. So
pretty much, he's owning up and he's being a good father. And he's
a lot of the superstars don't get to see their
families, and so
with schedule being so full.
Mm-hmm. So I can say with the utmost certainty that I genuinely respect Hawkins for
Tyler Rex.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Even though that dance they did on Monday was atrocious.
Oh God. That
regardless.
Was horrifying. Anyway. Yes. Bad decisions aside, a lot of respect for Tyler Rex for doing this, is because hell, with the way things are in this day and age, it's always nice to see that a dad is going out of his way to be able to be there for his kid. So, yeah, lots of props on that one, man.
As everybody always has to do when a superstar is gone. I will say this. Tyler, thank you for the entertainment purposes that you provided for the WWE.
Emotionally scarring or not.
Yes. Thank you for coming out every night, entertaining us all. You will be truly missed. And we hope to hear from you sometime in the future. Thanks a lot. But as always, there is something we have to bring up. Continuing on with Tyler Rex thing here. T-Rex. Why... Click back to that other one. Why Tyler Rex release? Why his release is good for Kurt Hawkins? Don't put it back on.
Yeah, so... You'll have to excuse us a second.
He had a little bit technical difficulty on this one.
He decided to bring it back up again when he had put it to bed. Anyway. Yeah. There.
Okay, we're good. I'm gonna turn this over to Gary.
No, you can do it, damn it.
You're all the way over there. Okay, I guess then I'm gonna do this one.
Whiny little bitch. Read the damn thing.
Ah, damn it. Ow! Okay. In a move that seemed to come from out of the left field, WWE released Tyler Rex, as we've discussed. And he was part of a tag team with Kurt Hawkins. While the pairing didn't receive a ton of television time, they did have somewhat of a cult following. And like we said, he requested his release, and it was granted. He's a new father and wants to spend time with his family, which the travel schedule obviously doesn't allow much time for. As Gary said, he was glad that Rex was released for the right reasons, but what does this departure mean for Hawkins? Hawkins is extremely talented. Oh yeah, I always do that. I'm so used to doing it with mine. But he's been held back for quite some time. Hawkins and Rex were a solid team that deserves more exposure than they ultimately received. But Hawkins is probably better off now than he was before. The fact is, the tag team division is a mess, and the writers aren't committed to it. I mean, they really need to do something to revamp it. So Hawkins and Rex weren't going to ascend much higher than they did. And it seems like the primetime players in Kofi and R-Truth are the only teams that exist in the collective minds of the WWE brass. So Hawkins and Rex are fighting for a losing battle. Were, for that matter. Now Hawkins is flying solo. There are several options. This is an interesting one that the source brings up. He could have a little bit of a feud with, what's his name, Zack Ryder. It would be very interesting. They used to be tag team partners, Hawkins and Ryder. So this could make for a very interesting feud. And they're both extremely underrated in terms of their respective wrestling skills and personalities. Maybe they won't be given a pay-per-view match, but that would push Hawkins in the right direction for that kind of match. Hawkins needs some help. He's going to climb to the next rung of the ladder, and Ryder may be the guy to do it. We'll certainly miss Rex, and we thought he had a good look, was solid in the ring, and had some personality. But at the same time, I'm very optimistic about what Rex's departure could mean for Hawkins in the future. That is about it for that one. Next on the topic list. Grading Jericho. This is just leftovers. Grading Jericho's last WWE run. In the time that he's been back, he has put over many superstars. With his feud with CM Punk when he came back from the Best in the World thing, or during Royal Rumble, it was the end of the world, something like that.
End of the world as you know it.
Yeah. And when he came back, he didn't speak for half the time for the first 3 weeks, and then he finally took a heel turn, as he did when he left the previous time. Then he, like I said, he went into a feud with CM Punk, and he was losing. He was in a fatal 4-way with Randy Orton, and Del Rio and Sheamus had Over the Limit. And a blip on the road came on May 24th when he was in Brazil, and he kicked the Brazilian flag out of the ring, which resulted in a 30-day suspension. When he returned, he saw himself in the ring with Cena, a man he met in pay-per-view main events in 2005. They entered a Money in the Bank match involving former champions, which Cena eventually won. The following night on Raw, after the Money in the Bank, he came out to the ring when Ziggler was talking, and that's when all the "you lost your touch, you can't win the big one" thing came anymore. And Jericho didn't say a word. He just gave him a code breaker. And that was the start of that little feud. And this is where we saw the Y2J take a face turn, and everybody clicked to him. The fact of the matter is, no matter if he's a heel or a face, he's one of the most well-decorated superstars in the WWE at present time. Right now, he's at the tour with his band Fozzy, which isn't supposed to end until a couple dates into 2013. But so what do we learn from this latest stint? It's simple. Jericho is such an established name and it's so untouchable as a marketable entity that he can barely win matches and still maintain the perception that he's important and should be treated as a main eventer. In short, during his last run, he helped Sheamus get over as a main eventer, further Punk's superstar status at WrestleMania, had a great match with Kofi on TV and live events, took big bumps in a Money in the Bank ladder match, and elevated Dolph Ziggler. Sounds like an impressive, successful, and unselfish run to me. Chris Jericho, so long, and we will welcome you back with open arms when you choose to return. Overall, I'm going to give his latest a grade on this. I'm going to give it a solid B. I think he did pretty well. Anything else? Oh yeah, definitely something else that we want to discuss. Into the storylines with Raw. CM Punk and The Rock. Take it away.
Alright, well, we all know how this went. Rock, Cena, WrestleMania. We thought that it was we originally thought that this was going to be more or less a passing in the torch type of a thing. But WWE Creative had a different idea. The night after WrestleMania, Rock came out and said that he dreamed of being the WWE Champion once again. So then, and then, of course, he would disappear until the 1000th episode of Raw, when he showed up and let the world know that he would face the WWE Champion at the 2013 Royal Rumble. And, of course, right at that moment, it became a promise, a guarantee, and it just became a big point of controversy. It was going to be wild, it was going to be incredible, and let's face it, people, it's The Rock. He's probably gonna become WWE Champion once again. However, the biggest thing is that if he becomes WWE Champion, he can't pull what he's been doing with the long disappearances until a moment where he can get a good amount of screen time, then just disappear again. He actually has to stay and commit to the WWE, and he has to stay with them
from what I've been following, again, sorry for interrupting you, my friend, but from what I've been following with The Rock is, in 2013, he doesn't have any movies slated to be in production. He has to be there to film, because so far 2013 comes with his G.I. Joe movie and the Fast 6 movie, which are Fast 6 is still a little in production, so probably around WrestleMania time is when he's gonna start really appearing more and defending his championships. But anyway, if he becomes champion, and along with his G.I. Joe movie, that's done, but they're just waiting to release it like June, whatever, May.
Well, The Rock has taken a lot of criticism for stealing the spotlight and thrusting himself into main events and title matches. This isn't happening just for the hell of it. The Rock will be challenging for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble only because The Rock draws. And The Rock will win the WWE title because he's the only thing that draws more than The Rock. Is The Rock has the... Okay, whatever. Anyway, he draws in money for the company. A lot of it. And almost, if not more than, Cena does. So once The Rock becomes WWE Champion, WWE is looking at a huge spike in revenues. So that's why they're allowing him to do this. And when he was saying that he envisioned himself winning the WWE Championship, it was more or less him saying, hey, Creative has plans for me to win. So...
Pretty much, yeah. Ooh, okay. Anyway, do that.
When he showed up on Raw 1000, he revealed that he had received a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble without technically earning it.
Which is a big thing that's been brought up so much.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
The Rock didn't say what would become the didn't say that he would become the WWE Champion only to disappoint the millions when he failed to live up to that promise. No, he said that, and because he knows that's exactly what is going to happen. After all, every indication that you've gotten is that somehow, some way, The Rock is going to win the most prestigious title in WWE at some point in 2013. And
with that being said,
yeah.
One scenario that could play out is that The Rock faces Cena for the championship at the Royal Rumble, beats him, and goes on to defend the title against CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. Another rumored scenario: The Rock would face Cena for the WWE title in the WrestleMania rematch at WrestleMania 29.
Which I actually see that as more likely of the two, because A, everybody wants to see the rematch, and B, considering that it's WrestleMania, going with Cena on this match is a safer bet for WWE, and considering how much of a revenue spike that they got at the last WrestleMania because of these two going up against each other, they want a repeat of that. They want to see that happen again. So they're probably gonna, that's what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna have the rematch at WrestleMania, and they're gonna, because let's face it, money talks.
Exactly. Okay. Are we done with this?
Yep.
Okay, well, the last thing we're going to bring... Well, not the last thing, but the last thing to do with the wrestling world on this. 5 mistakes WWE is making with a 3-hour format and how we fix them. Oh, no. I want to bring this up. Rey Mysterio has been out with a concussion since SummerSlam. He will be back sooner or later within the next week. Yeah, I know. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, WWE needs to stop back onto the how to fix the format and stuff. They need to stop assuming we have a short-term memory. One thing WWE is known for doing is very well presenting video packages that are engaging and informative. When it's a video recapping a week's worth of coverage along with feud coverage along with added music and effects, it makes the whole thing look a lot more professional. But the sheer number of these things is the problem. Recapping what has happened in previous weeks is a great thing for WWE to do, since many viewers may not watch religiously but wish to stay up to date. That's a good thing they're doing. What about the rest of us that...
Just one thing. Us two. We are religious about this. So you guys don't have to worry about that.
I watch every week. It's not that I want... It's just because... Well, part of it is...
Let's face it, in our house is our church, and WWE is our religion. And we sit there like good little religious nuts.
Okay, anyway, like, it's because I have to do this show, but it's because it's fun to watch for me. I love seeing the storylines and everything unfold. I've been into it since I was little. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
That, and it seems to be like the only decent thing on TV nowadays.
Decent, yeah. But anyway, what about, like we say, what about the rest of us who watch faithfully each week? Do we need to be reminded 3 times during Raw about what happened between Lesnar and Triple H? No. And we brought this up before. We have a very good long-term memory and short-term memory for things people do, for things they're interested in. And anyone watching is likely to have a level of interest where they will remember events from a couple of weeks ago very easily. Recapping a pay-per-view is different only because a certain % of the viewing audience actually buys the events, or like me and him go to Quaker Steak, like that we gave a shout out to them last time, which we'll continue to do throughout. But we all saw what happened last week on Raw, so there's no need to beat a dead horse and re-show it every half hour. I'm speaking so fast and getting ahead of myself. WWE should come up with the number of video packages it allows on an episode of Raw and then stick with that. A reasonable number for a 3-hour show would be 6, 2 for each hour. As long as they do not exceed a couple of minutes, they would vastly improve the WWE viewing experience. Next, I brought this up before, the beginning of the show. You pay these people a lot of money, so use them already. And Gary will be covering this one if he wants.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, people, well, here's the gist of it. If you look at the roster for both shows, the roster's huge. Yet, if those of us who actually watch every night, I'm more than sure if we go on those roster lists, we'll see a few names on there and we'll go, wait, who the hell is this person? Who the hell is this person? We don't know because as WWE never uses them. And frankly, it's starting to get rather dull to see like the same 5-6 people being used for storylines. And you guys, I mean, come on, WWE, you have all these people on the rosters.
There are superstars using jobbers to win their matches, one-day contracts. Use those superstars that don't get airtime. Use them,
and we'll see better matches that way. And I mean, here's an excellent example. The Divas Royal, the Divas Battle Royale match for the #1 contender for the Divas Championship. We saw Beth Phoenix and we saw Kelly on the advertisement picture before it went to commercial. Yet we did not see them in the ring. And instead we saw Rosa Mendez, and she wasn't on the picture whatsoever. I mean, come on. You guys have like so many more divas than that. And I mean, with the wrestlers, I mean, Royal Rumbles, the past Royal Rumbles, they've had like old legends come in, yet they don't use any of the guys on the roster that don't get airtime whatsoever.
Exactly.
Because they don't want any new guys getting a shot at WrestleMania. Well, that wouldn't happen if you guys actually used them and actually had them gain a good name for themselves.
Simply put, what needs to be understood is that not every match needs a storyline. They don't need to be feuding just to justify... I'm getting ahead of myself. They can just throw 2 guys in the ring and let them put on a good match. Put Alex Riley in the ring with GATG, and see what happens. They don't need to be feuding to justify them wrestling each other. The English is a little messed up. The first question I would ask if I was an investor in the WWE would be, why the hell are we paying all these people when I never see them on television? The only way WWE can build up new stars is to actually feature them on a grand stage and allow them to be tested in ways they can't be tested at house shows. So that was that. Next. Allocate your time better. Did you know that the average hour-long television show is 36% commercials? Apparently we didn't know this either. But 36% of an hour is 21.6 minutes. So let's just leave it at an even 21 minutes for this sake of argument. Meaning each hour contains 39 minutes of actual show. That means a 3-hour show has approximately 125 minutes of actual show. When you include the 5 or 10 minutes of overrun time WWE takes going into the next hour. That is over 2 hours of time to feature matches. WWE needs to develop a ratio of how much time will be given to these matches, promos, backstage, and non-wrestling segments, and video packages. Matches should take priority and get the lion's share of the time. Maybe around 70 to 75%, or roughly 80 to 90 minutes of wrestling. That's a lot of friggin' math that I can't even come up with, just saying. Take the other 25 to 30%, 35 to 45 minutes, and divide it up accordingly for the other things, depending on what is more important to feature that week. This would vastly improve the viewing experience. But We'll soon see what they do. Now, if Gary would hurry up and get back, there's something I would definitely like to cover, because Gary would be very opinionated on this. You heard your name, didn't you? If you are going to shove social media down our throats, use better judgment. And I'll leave this to Gary.
A Kardashian?
Yeah,
Really?
Does Keeping Up with the Kardashians have a
Really?
big cross-sections of fan?
Let's face it, the Kardashians are not known for their good judgment.
Exactly. But anyway, why does WWE insist on using one of those sisters as a social media ambassador?
Charlie Sheen was pushing it.
Charlie Sheen's a shit, so that's even...
But still, that's pushing it.
Don't you disrespect Charlie Sheen.
Quiet, bitch.
You disrespect Charlie Sheen again, I will murder the shit out of you. Oh! Get me shot! Okay, continue.
You just love it when your friends start running their mouths. Anyway, let's see. Okay.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay, back to the show.
I just feel an itch. That's it. Anyway.
You're lucky I didn't punch full force.
Right, whatever. Anyway. So, yeah. Okay. Obviously, they've become a bit desperate, and they've been trying to get some way to get more interest in the shows. But the social media advisors or whatever... Ambassadors, yeah. It's an okay start, but get better people than these celebrities who aren't really known for good judgment or just aren't really all that popular all that much.
Verbatim, somebody on the site source says, sometimes I think someone at WWE headquarters just looks at who is being talked about on TMZ and then contacts him or her to be a social media ambassador. If that is the case, then expect Lindsay Lohan to be tweeting about why Alberto Del Rio's scarf is all wrong with him within a few weeks.
Yeah.
If they're going to punish us with this, then at least it could do is make it a bit more bearable by using interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of God, somebody throw a pie already. This meaning, WWE is starting to get a little less, it used to be, funny, comedic, you can always have fun with it, no matter what was happening, a match, whatever. But now, the only time we ever get a chuckle during an event is when Michael Cole says something ridiculous or someone has a funny sign in the crowd. Yes, Michael Cole. It's gotten so bad that the funniest thing in WWE right now is Michael Cole. Lawler used to be hilarious before these PG handcuffs were slapped on his wrist, which is stupid now. And superstars, non-wrestling talents, managers, and announcers used to have they all used to have a sense of humor about wrestling. And now, it seems like everyone in the whole locker room lost their smiles. But, what are you going to do? Even Cena barely cracks jokes these days, and he's always cracking jokes.
Yeah,
and he's been a resident smartass for years.
The last funny thing he said was the whole Star Wars bit off of what had happened at one of the pay-per-views.
Yeah, right? Take some chances, WWE. Write a few jokes and see how they play. If they don't, then write some more. But please stop making us watch these endlessly unfunny shows. A company can only take itself so seriously when its product is based around stage fighting, and Santino is not the only person who should be allowed to make some jokes. So, that's about it on that one. trying to find a little report here. There's like we said earlier, there's talk of Brock and Undertaker at WrestleMania. We said that on Monday.
Yeah, but I think we've gone a bit and over the time limit, so I'd say we better just end it now,
We will,
huh?
but I'm just trying to find something. It was something about the Divas match, why they weren't actually featured. But
yeah, I highly doubt you're gonna find anything on that.
yeah, it was on.
Dude, just give it up. Save it for the next one, huh?
No, I will find this.
Yes, you and your divas.
Yes, me and my diva. Go to hell. Okay. There's something here that does need to be addressed. It is Wade Barrett's return. I just want to discuss this. Fans have been teased for weeks with vignettes hinting towards the return of Wade Barrett. Of course, with any return of a significant superstar, one preferably who did not begin their career in 1977, there comes a speculation of whom they will meet within the squared circles. In the squared, yeah, whatever. But we still have no word on when he's coming back. Expected within the next few weeks. Oh, I did have one more update. On the new WWE title belt, I forgot about that. As you know, there's been a tease of a new design, but it won't be happening probably until
WrestleMania time.
somewhere around there. But anyway, I remember now. Why the WWE didn't feature the divas like Kelly and Beth Phoenix who were on the poster, the thing before the match. I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place because I'm trying to wrap this up. But anyway, why? And this is why they weren't even there that night, so they weren't. Obviously, the production truck screwed up. So, other than that, I think that's about it. I just wanted to give that quick update. A few more side notes. The live show for Tuesday, we'll be doing that. Also, the following Tuesday, I'll be back at doing the school crap, but I gotta do it. But these videos will be made. They will be produced. Whatever you want. They will be up. Gary did we discuss this on here? Gary brought up a fact of the Wrestling Rundown logo that he wanted, that we both wanted.
Yeah, I brought it up before we went on air. My idea is pretty much the WWE logo, and then if anyone remembers how they do the logo for bragging rights instead pay-per-view, I was thinking have the logo be like that. So we'll be working on that, and we'll have it up on the wall here for you guys to see when we have it done. So we'll keep you posted on progress on that.
When we do get that done, I'm gonna print it out with colored ink and everything. So, and then I'm gonna take it to some place where I can get it blown up into a poster, and it could be hung up on the wall. Other than that, another plan that I do want to touch on a little bit, the special episodes that I talked about earlier was they were going to be considerably longer than a usual episode, and those episodes will be either right after a pay-per-view, the week of the pay-per-view. Those 2 episodes that week are going to be pretty much this long. If there's a live SmackDown event on, we will report on that. and we'll probably make that video either on a Wednesday or a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on
when we get to it.
Yes. And what was I gonna say? Wow, I've been saying that a lot. What was I gonna say? Oh
yes,
yeah,
because you decided to start winging it after we finished covering SmackDown. God.
Nobody heard that.
Swear to God, this place is a fucking biohazard zone.
Anyway, okay. I think you've heard enough from us, guys.
Alright.
As always, we will see you on Tuesday for our live stream. We will be taking your questions, everything. So please come check it out.
This is Gary and Jason signing off.